The galaxy's most terrifying empire never expected an adversary from forgotten Death World. Us. The serene tranquility of the Great Conclave's orbital hub was obliterated by a deafening, shrieking alert. Emergency strobes painted the graceful archways in a frantic, bloody crimson. Counselor Zale, a slender Velosian whose skin shimmered like molten pearl, erupted into the central nexus, his silken garments whipping behind him. "Status," he demanded, his normally harmonious voice now ablaze. A young Tkelade, her antennae vibrating with panic, stammered a reply. Multiple unidentified craft. "Counselor, they just manifested on our perimeter." The primary viewer flashed alive, revealing a sight that froze the blood of every diplomat present. A flotilla of brutal, angular warships now hung in the void. Their design was cold, utilitarian, and spoke of a singular purpose: devastating warfare. Counselor Zale's multifaceted eyes widened in primal dread. By the celestial chorus, how did they pierce our sentinel grid? Before any answer could form, a priority hail commandeered the channel. With a trembling limb, Zale accepted. The screen resolved to show a human face, weathered, resolute, undeniably martial. "This is Fleet Commander Anya Vance of the Terran Accord. We approach without hostile intent, but require an immediate council session. The security of this entire stellar region depends on it." A wave of shocked whispers crashed through the nexus. To these assembled beings, humans were phantoms, midst of a feral, quarantined species from a hellish garden world. Yet here they were, at the very core of civilized space. Zale fought to steady his voice. "We were unaware of any planned first contact, Commander." Vance cut through the niceties, her tone leaving no room for debate. "This isn't a diplomatic tea party, Counselor. We possess intelligence critical to the survival of every civilization at the station. Will you hear it, or will you cling to your ignorance?" The Velosian bristled, but acknowledged the stark gravity. He gave a slow, reluctant nod. "Very well. A session will be convened, but your vessels must hold position." A faint, grim shadow of a smile touched Vance's lips. "Acknowledged. A delegation will arrive shortly." The channel died, and the nexus descended into pandemonium. Races accustomed to eons of calm now faced a dual specter. These mysterious humans and the peril they heralded. Amid the turmoil, a guttural, rumbling voice cut through the noise. "I will address this." All turned to the immense figure, now dominating the entryway. Commander Borvus of the Krogath stood a full 3 meters tall, his hide a tapestry of scarred, armored plating. The Krogath were the sole species whose evolutionary crucible was said to rival the human's mythical home. Their raw power made them the Conclave's enforcers. Zale nodded, relieved. "Yes, Commander. Your experience with belligerent species will be vital." Borvus's saurian eyes narrowed to slits. "We shall see if these creatures merit their legends, or if they are merely prey that learn to snarl." The next hour was a cyclone of activity. Security protocols were initiated. Civilians were evacuated, and a heavily armed reception detail assembled in the primary bay. Borvus stood at its head, flanked by Krogath legionaries in Conclave security. Precisely on schedule, a needle-like shuttle detached from the Terran fleet and approached with unnerving grace. The gathered aliens watched, breath held, as it settled onto the deck. The ramp descended with a hydraulic sigh. The first human emerged. Commander Vance was imposing despite her smaller frame, her uniform a canvas of service and command. 2 others flanked her, an elder statesman with the keen eyes of a strategist and a younger, powerfully built soldier whose hand rested near his sidearm. Borvus took a ground-shaking step forward, looming over them. "I am Commander Borvus of the Krogath. You speak of peace, yet arrive uninvited and armed to the teeth. Justify this." Vance met his towering gaze without a flicker. "Circumstance gave us no alternative. Commander, the enemy we faced permitted no time for formal introductions. I am Anya Vance. With me are Ambassador Elias Soren and Major Kalen Reed." She gestured to her companions. "We bring a warning of a danger that threatens us all." Borvus's eyes narrowed further. "And what makes you believe we require the aid of an untested civilization?" A cold, mirthless smile crossed Vance's face. "Because we've already bled fighting them, Commander. and we almost lost. The bay's atmosphere thickened into something almost solid. Conclave guards tightened their grips on energy rifles. Borvus studied the humans, his tactical mind dissecting their posture, their calm. You will be taken to a secure chamber. There, you will present your evidence. But know this, any deception will be met with immediate, annihilating force. Vance gave a single, sharp nod. Understood. Led on. As the procession moved, a corridor of stunned onlookers formed. Some recoiled. Others leaned in, driven by terrified fascination. Ambassador Soren offered polite, diplomatic nods. Major Reed's eyes never stopped scanning, assessing every shadow. They entered the Grand Council amphitheater, a ring of representatives from 100 worlds. Zale took his central position. Esteemed delegates, we face an unprecedented scenario. These humans claim knowledge of a grave threat. We will listen, but wisdom dictates scrutiny. Commander Vance stepped into the center. Members of the Great Conclave, we arrived not as conquerors, but as potential allies against a mutual foe. She signaled to Major Reed, who activated a hollow emitter. The display flickered, then resolved into a nightmare. A vessel that seemed part beast, part machine, its hull undulating as if alive. Revolted gasps echoed. This, Vance intoned, her voice grave, is a Scourge ship, a race of parasitic conquerors. They believed one of our outpost worlds was a soft target. They were mistaken. The hollows shifted the scenes of apocalyptic battle, shattered cities in desperate, brutal warfare. We repelled them at a horrific cost, Vance continued. In the aftermath, we uncovered the designs for this sector. Your homes, your people, all are slated for consumption or assimilation. We came to warn you and offer our strength to stop them. The chamber exploded into dissonant arguing. Through the din, Borvus remained a statue of silent assessment. Finally, he spoke, his rumble silencing the room. I have seen the gaze of those who have witnessed true extinction, he said, staring at the humans. They do not lie. The question is, what action do we take? Counselor Zale raised his hands. Commander Vance, your tale is disturbing, but you must understand our hesitation. We know you only from frightening folklore. How can we trust your intent? Ambassador Soren stepped forward, his voice a calming balm. Counselor, we share your desire for a peaceful coexistence, but our first encounter with another intelligence was a scourge, a nightmare that nearly erased us. We come from necessity, not choice. He manipulated the hollow, displaying a stellar map. The Scourge advance is inevitable. We offer our data, our technology, our warriors. We ask only for the chance to stand beside you. The chamber fell into a heavy, contemplative silence. Zale looked from the humans to Borvus, conflict warring in his features. Commander, your judgment. Borvus's jaw worked. They are soldiers. Their tech is advanced, their methods unorthodox. If their claim is truth, to refuse their aid is idiocy. He turned his massive head toward Vance. But mark me, human, the Krogath will be watching. Any betrayal, and you will learn why galaxies fear our name. Vance held his gaze. We would expect no less. But I believe, in time, you will see us as siblings in this fight. Before Zale could formalize a decision, the station's alert system screamed back to life. A frantic voice shouted over the comms. Unidentified vessels decloaking. They're firing. Chaos reclaimed the chamber. Through it all, the human delegation stood firm, almost as if they'd anticipated this. Vance locked eyes with Borvus. It seems the Scourge located us ahead of schedule. Now, Commander, you choose. Detain us as intruders, or let us help you survive what comes next. Borvus wrestled with millennia of instinctive xenophobia for one critical second. With a furious roar, he made his choice. To the command nexus. Now, humans, show us what you can do. If you're gripped by this story of an unlikely alliance forged in fire, show your support. A like and a subscription to Winds of Thought fuels our journey to bring you more tales from the cosmic frontier. Now back to the battle. As they sprinted through vibrating corridors, the sounds of combat grew deafening. Viewports showed sleek, predatory craft ravaging the station's defensive squadrons. They burst into the command nexus to find it in total disarray. Vance strode to the main tactical display. Listen, the Scourge doesn't come to bargain. They come to consume, to turn your worlds into fuel for their hive. We've witnessed it. A panicked Zale turned. But why? We've never even heard of the Scourge. Because they're clever, Major Reed interjected, his fingers flying over a console. They strike from the void, swallowing whole systems before a warning can be sent. We only learned of them because they attacked us and failed. Ambassador Soren moved to Zale's side. We fought them, and in that struggle, we learned of their plans for you. We came not to start a war, but to stop one from devouring your civilization. Borvus studied the unfolding carnage on the displays. Fine words. Where's your proof? Vance nodded to Reed, who produced a data sliver. Everything. Tactics, technology, vulnerabilities. But right now, you need to know how to live through the next 5 minutes. As Reed integrated the data, schematics of Scourge ships filled the air. Their vessels use bioadaptive camouflage, makes them ghost to standard scans. But it has a flaw. A complex energy frequency schematic appeared. A modulated electropulse on this band will disrupt it. It won't kill them, but it will strip them naked. Borvus analyzed the data. Clever. But our weaponry is for deterrence, not total war. How do we deliver this pulse? Vance's smile was all sharp edges. That's our part, Commander. Our ships carry the emitters. Buy us time to reach optimal firing positions, and we'll give you a fair fight. The Nexus held its breath. Then Borvus gave a single, decisive nod. Counselor Zale, I advise we accept. Zale, faced with annihilation, acquiesced. Do it. Commander Vance, you have our provisional trust. Save the gratitude for after we're all still breathing, Vance said, already transmitting orders. Reed, sync with Krogath Defense Control. Soren, help the Conclave with evacuations. Let's make these monsters regret ever finding us. A new, determined energy surged through the Nexus. Forged in desperation, an alliance was born. The true battle for the galaxy's future was now underway.